Yo, what's going on, everybody? Eyecee here, and welcome to my Monday Night Football Week 4 Draftkings Showdown video between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's get right into it. Captain viable players starting with the Bengals, numero uno, no particular order, Tyler Boyd, 13,800. I like Tyler Boyd a lot, especially AJ Green's still out. He's the go-to guy for the Bengals. I'm expecting the Bengals to be forced to throw a lot because the Steelers' run defense is very good. The Bengals will have to figure out other ways to get it done, and the receivers are one of the main ways they're going to have to get it done. The Steelers' pass defense has allowed 1 touchdown per game, and I'm not expecting anything to change. So I like Tyler Boyd. I like the wide receivers on the Bengals. Moving along. Clock blocking my wide receiver fantasy is Joe Mixon, the running back. He's not my favorite play as a captain, but because he's the top running back on a team and it's a showdown slate, you have to consider the running back. So Joe Mixon's in play for me. Not as much, but he's in play for me. He had a good last week after a shitty week 1 and 2. I don't really like him versus the Steelers defense, but if it's a tight game, I'm expecting them to have to go to Mixon and give him some meaningful carries. While I don't think this game will be a blowout or a slow grind or anything, I expect it to be like a competitive, close game, and Mixon's going to be in play. Just not my favorite. Someone that is one of my favorite plays and my favorite quarterback more than Mason Rudolph is Andy Dalton, 14,700. It's Andy Dalton, guys. He's been good so far this season. Typical Andy Dalton stuff. He hasn't been super amazing. He hasn't been super shit. He's just been good. And for this showdown slate, he should be the better quarterback in my opinion. He has more options to throw for. He has a better offensive coordinator. He's not a backup quarterback. So yeah, I like him a lot compared to Mason Rudolph. And I think the Steelers getting some of their defenders back to full health is going to cause some more pressure, but not to the point where I don't see Andy Dalton having a decent fantasy night. I feel he might have to resort to some deep balls late in the game, and with the receiving options he got, and I think it should be good. So moving along, John Ross III. I love this guy. Week 1 he won me a shit ton of money. I love him. Week 2 even more money. I love him. And week 3, I kind of fell off of him because I didn't expect him. But he still did good. And I expect him to continue to do good, just like Tyler Boyd. This guy's in a good spot here. He's one of the 2 go-to guys for Dalton. And I'm expecting the throw to be there. And as you can see, I didn't even change the text here. I'm expecting similar things for John Ross. Just there's a price difference. And I don't know. I like John Ross, though. Captain viable plays for the Steelers. James Conner to lead the group. He's probably my favorite captain pick, to be honest with you. The Bengals are just super shit against running backs. They've been super shit the whole season so far, and they've allowed 4 touchdowns to opposing running backs, so I don't expect that to stop. Nothing's changed in the last week. So James Conner's in a good spot here. He hasn't had a super great start to the season, but he's the undisputed running back. He's seeing the most snaps, and the matchup is just fantastic. His price is good too, but his price is high. It's not good, but his price is good in that regard, that the matchup and all those things considered, the price is not too bad. Expecting a great match for this guy, especially considering he has a backup quarterback behind him. So, give me the James Conner. I like Mason Rudolph. You have to mention a quarterback. Their winning lineup, captain 10 to 12% of the time. And hey, it's happened 2 out of the 4 times last 4 showdown slate, so I don't see why it can't happen this week. He's had a mediocre start at Big Ben's replacement, but the Bengals defense has no pressure. I'm expecting him to get a couple extra seconds to make a decision, and the Cincinnati offensive, I don't expect it to be a super, like a blowout by any stretch of the imagination. I expect the scores to be relatively close. And I expect Mason Rudolph to keep cool and calm and not really panic and, make mistakes like we saw Bridgewater do yesterday. But, Mason Rudolph should be better in that regard and a safer play in that regard. And I like him as a captain tomorrow. Not as much, but I like him. All right, moving along. Juju SmithSchuster, one of my favorite names to say over and over again. I like saying this guy's name over and over again, so I thought I'd say that over and over again. You got that? But yeah, Mason Rudolph should have a couple more seconds to make a pass. I like him less than Connor because of Mason Rudolph. His targets are down compared to last season ever since he got replaced. He replaced Ben Roethlisberger. But the other factor is the second and third wide receivers are actually decent, and they're more involved in the play with Mason Rudolph. And it makes sense, right? Because your second string quarterbacks usually targeting with the second string options, and he has a lot of chemistry with those guys, it seems like, and I expect that to continue. So I like Juju Smith. And then this guy's my sort of captain viable pick this week. Yeah, man, this guy's a real OG. He scored his first touchdown last week. Diontae Johnson, 9,900. He actually replaced the guy that they were paying $9 million for 2 seasons. Diontae Moncrief, I believe. He was a healthy scratch last week. So I expect Diontae to. He took that role for himself now. Post game comments after the game make me feel like 100% confident in that. Maybe 99, not 100. 99. And you'll know why. I'm 99% confident this guy's made that position for himself. They just look more comfortable out there. And then after the game, just the words that were coming out of the guys' mouth made me feel like they all really liked his integration into the team. Moncrief was known for dropping catches, so this guy caught a touchdown his first week. I expect that to continue, him to go to him. And then James Washington. This guy was the second wide receiver last week, but honestly, I feel like he's now the third option. But in saying that, take me in. Hear me out. This guy's had a bad first 3 weeks. He should have had a touchdown pass last week, but he didn't, because the National Flag League flagged him. Flag. There's flags all the time, flags, and the flags fucked him up, and he should have had a touchdown pass, but he didn't. Football being a team sport, I feel like they're gonna try and get this guy more integrated into the offense. He says he doesn't care about stats and all that, but let's be real, everybody cares about that shit. And he should have caught a touchdown. He would have had a touchdown. I feel Mason Rudolph will try and get him his first touchdown this year. The 3 receivers are working well together, so I feel like that should continue. So I like James Washington, sort of captain viable pick. And I just decided to put all my flex plays all on one page for each team. So Steelers defense is probably my favorite flex play. The pressure defense should be in full effect. I'm expecting a couple of sacks, maybe some interceptions with Dalton throwing. So yeah, I like the Steelers defense a lot. Chris Boswell, the kicker's in play yesterday. I always love kickers in showdowns. I don't know why people don't, but kickers are good. They're always 6th or 7th on the fantasy point production on the night. One of them usually is, so pick the right kicker. But Chris Boswell is that guy for me. Yeah, I like the Chris Boswell. And then the tight ends here. Depending on if both of the guys are injured, the top 2 guys are out. Vanette would be the 3rd guy in line, but he's expensive. They raised his price a lot because they expect him to be that guy. But Zach Gentry is another guy that I thought I would mention. $600 Draftkings dollars. Even if he makes a catch or 2, it's value, and it allows you to get more of the other guys. So Zach Gentry would probably be the tight end I target for my flex play on the Steelers, but Vanette's probably the guy you should go to. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that. And then Diontae Moncrief. This is why I said 99%. This is the 1%. They paid this guy $9 million a year for 2 years. He was healthy but scratched. And for the time being, they found their 3 receivers, but anything can happen. Anything can happen. He could get another chance, something, anything. So 1%. 1%, which is why he's in red. I don't really like him, but 1%. I have to mention him. All right, Bengals flex play. Tyler Eifert. Horrible matchup last week. I expect him to bounce back versus the Steelers. That's all. He's a good play for me. But the other tight end mentioned underneath is also a decent play. I just have him in yellow. But yeah, Tyler Eifert, good play for me. But yeah, if you were down, if you really wanted to play someone on the Bengals team and you're down money, I would pay up for Austin Tate. This guy saw a lot more action last week. He's definitely in play for me, and I probably would have put him in my sort of captain viable pick. But yeah, didn't really feel 100% comfortable in that. But my reason for feeling like I should have was the third wide receiver for a quarterback that throws can definitely be a viable captain. If he gets a touchdown tomorrow, touchdown catch, you're set, right? Like, what more do you want? Touchdown catch, couple of yards receiving, you're good. You'd be like low owned. The price is low enough that you can get all the other guys, and you're set. So Austin Tay is a guy I like. And then Randy Bullock, the kickers for the Bengals. I like kickers. While I like the Steelers kicker, I feel like the Steelers defense will, and combined with the Bengals offense, will put them in more positions for field goal opportunities. And I like Randy Bullock more. So cue the Randy Bullock. And then tight end CJ Uzomah. Uzomah. Hope I say that right. Same thing. He was in a tough matchup last week, but he's saying the same amount of snaps as Tyler Effort, and it's just a matter of time before they go to him. Could be tomorrow, so that's why I'm gonna consider him in some plays. And then anything can happen, and that's that. So hope you guys have a good Monday tonight. Good luck. Sorry for the kind of weird video. Not really feeling that well today. I don't know, it's really cold too, so I'm trying to get this over with. I wish you guys the best of luck, and I hope to make another video tomorrow or the day after for Thursday Showdown. Good luck, guys. Good luck. Like, comment, and subscribe, please. It helps me a lot. And yeah, take care. Bye-bye.